round two, ladies and gentlemen, of this review. Uh, the invasion angle. We got blocked on the last one for showing a video because YouTube wants to come at us for some reason. They mess with our views and they do all kinds of stuff with our channel. I don't get it, but it is what it is. But hey, we're back. Um, but yeah, you know what? I'll leave a link for that video that we reacted to. I'll leave a link for that down below.
Yeah. So now we got to go through everything we covered again, but that's fine.
No,
Before we, no, I want to do because this is the video. There's gonna be more
I,
people.
we
There's yeah, we'll cover everything we covered on that first video because that other one is gonna be deleted anyway, and there are some people that probably didn't see our live that are gonna watch the video later. But before we start, I want to read over again. My one of my Facebook friends, Max, summed up the angle. Summed up why people don't like the angle perfectly. He said, "I wasn't disappointed with that angle myself," which is a way of saying, "Yeah, it was good." And he
yeah
said, "I was disappointed at the fact that there was so much potential, parrots is essentially. I mean, we could have had matches like Sting versus the Undertaker, which would have been epic. Um,
right.
Now, of course, don't get me wrong, we got great talent out of it, like RVD and Booker T,
There you go.
as well as the World Heavyweight title come back. Big gold belt was sexy as fuck. Which again, that's Max's favorite belt, the world title. Mine is personally the undisputed title, and you go for the winged eagle, right? Yep. That is the winged eagle. You can't really see it, but that's what it is.
Right.
Yep.
Um, I'm sorry, I'm sending out a new link here.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, hashtag invasion. Okay. Uh, yeah. Yeah, we got. How cool would that match card have been if we had? Imagine. Okay. Imagine this match card, Frank. This match card would have been amazing if if all the stars had aligned. Uh, Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit. That could have been WWF versus WCW because Benoit was WCW. Chris Jericho versus Chris Jericho versus Eddie Guerrero versus X Pac versus uh, I don't know. Let's say Rob Van Dam. That way you got representation of all brands. Uh, and then for like the tag team, you have like Edge and Christian versus the Steiner brothers, or the Brothers of Destruction against the Legion of Doom. Um, and then in your big main event, it's 5-on-5 WWF versus WCW. Your WWF 5, Stone Cold, The Rock, The Undertaker, Triple H, and Vince McMahon himself versus the WCW 5, Hogan, Hall, Nash, Sting, and Goldberg. I,
That's your Survivor Series 2001 card right there to end the angle right there. That would have been great, but still, what we ultimately got was really good. It was a really fun angle. Like
but
I
it was
said,
but it wasn't the same as it would have been with the main eventers. I mean, it was good.
I'm
Don't get me
fine
wrong,
with that. Yeah,
but it
I'm
could
still
have been better. And quite
it
frankly,
definitely could. Yeah,
it
but
could have been better. It could have been better.
I'm
But
still fine with what we got because that was a great angle with a
yeah,
lot of drama.
oh,
Yeah.
100%. I
Hmm.
love the build to Survivor Series 2001. I love the promo package and Stone Cold beating the hell out of everybody. And on that final episode of SmackDown, everybody gets their finisher on each other. Um, yeah, and then to close out Survivor Series, You had Vince McMahon on the shoulders of WWF superstars
Yeah.
celebrating. I mean, it was fantastic.
So so let's go through some of these segments we went through before we got blocked by YouTube on the original. So I'll go through mine first, and you can go through your couple of segments. For one, one of the original, like one of the first segments that really kicked off the angle was when they had the WCW guys and on one side of the ring, the ECW guys on the other side of the ring, looking like there's about to be this big brawl, and then they hug, and that's the beginning, the birth of the alliance. And then, of course, as that segment moves on, they have Stephanie and Shane come out and reveal themselves to be the leaders, along with Paul Heyman of the alliance. And as the show's going off the air, Stephanie and Shane are celebrating. They got one up on Daddy, and Jr. gives one of my no my he gives my favorite call that JR has ever done. He says, "The sins of a father are costing us all here at the WWF." That was a
It
great call by JR. A great
was.
call by JR. Yes.
He's a wordsmith.
Yeah. Another angle, another segment, excuse me, was with Tori Wilson and Vince McMahon, where Tori and Vince were essentially going around trying to find places where they can make out. There was one time they went into a closet, and like Kurt Angle came through and like interrupted them. There was a little bit of comedy in that. But then at the end of the night, they're backstage. Tori gets Vince to like take everything off, and she tells him, close your eyes. Vince closes his eyes. Tori leaves. Uh, Linda comes in. So Vince opens his eyes, and the first person he sees is Linda. He's like, Linda, it's not what you think. No. And then so then the segment ends, and you can hear the crowd as they're going off the air. You can hear the crowd giving that segment a standing ovation. And then the other segment I mentioned before we got blocked was the segment where Vince is in the ring. Booker T is on the Titantron at the World, and he yeah, Booker T tells the WWE guys, "Come to the World," because this show's at the Garden. So he says, "Come to the World, get your asses down the street and come get me." So WWE guys leave the arena, and then next thing you know, Vince McMahon is standing alone in the ring, and who slides in the ring but Booker T to attack Vince McMahon? That was a tremendous segment. Those were three of the segments that I was able to get to. I still have a few more that I want to mention, but
Yeah,
you go ahead. You go ahead and
I
mention the ones
had
you
I had three segments too.
were. Yeah,
One segment was the segment that got us clapped, so I won't show that again.
but you
Uh,
can say what it was. You can say what it was, though.
it was The Rock and Stone Cold singing country music to each other, basically.
Yeah, yeah,
Great segment, phenomenal segment. I'll drop a link in the description down below so you can go watch it there.
yeah,
There you go. That's how you do that. And I also loved the angle where Stone Cold, he doesn't know where his loyalty lies. Is it live with WWF or WCW?
yeah, yeah,
And he uh he doesn't know where he lies, so he just leaves the arena, goes to a bar, and they show WWF getting their asses whooped by WCW,
yeah,
and Freddie Blassie's in the locker room, telling them, like, getting them all rowdied up. Um, and he's all rowdied up. He's getting them all riled up, like, get up, stand up, time to fight, come on, it's all or
yeah,
nothing here. And so as he's doing that, um, you could see Stone Cold at the bar watching it on TV, and he picks up a pool stick and walks out of that bar, heads to the arena, and they come back to the arena where the WCW and the WWF guys are all fighting. And I say WCW, I guess I should say the Alliance guys. The
yeah. The
Alliance guys
Alliance.
and the WWF guys are fighting, and Stone Cold shows up with the pool stick, nails everybody in sight on his way to the ring. It doesn't matter if you're WWF. It doesn't matter if you're ECW. It doesn't matter if you're WCW. If you're in his way, you're going to get whacked with the stick. Pause.
Yes.
Um, you're going to get hit if you're in his way. And so that happened. Gets in the ring. Stone Cold Stunners all around to a huge ovation. And Jim Ross going crazy on commentary. So that was a great segment. And then my third segment that I love was the SmackDown before Survivor Series '01, where all of the guys in the 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match hit their finishers on each other. Rock bottom, last ride, choke slam, stunner, angle slam, book in, scissor kick, frog splash, you name it, it was getting thrown in there. I mean, it was a great angle. Yeah, he was great. So there you go. There's my
no doubt.
so far that we have.
Yeah, another one I really loved was the turn at was it the Invasion pay-per-view where Austin at the end of that match turns his back on the WWE and joins the Alliance. That was great. That was a great way to end that pay-per-view.
I would agree.
I just thought of a segment. But that actually happened in December. So I was going to mention, but it happened in December, so it wasn't the Invasion angle.
Are you going to talk about the Undertaker's heel turn? Was that the segment you were going to?
No. The grocery store.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that's sort of an invasion angle, but man, if that wasn't the best angle, that was awesome.
Segment,
Price check on, or hang on, what was it?
Price check on a jackass. Price check on a jackass.
Price check on jackass. We got Canada Whoop Ass in aisle 3. Canada Whoop Ass, it's aisle 3. Yeah, that was. And Bruce Pritchard, I watched a podcast about that episode, and Bruce said they had to pay handsomely for that.
Yeah, of course. That's a real grocery store, and you're messing up all their merchandise.
Yeah, and they had to close down the store to clean up, and they had to shut it down to film. And hey, question, Frank.
Okay.
Can you trace the beginnings of the invasion angle all the way back to '96, kind of?
How so?
I was thinking, how? Good question. Actually, even '95, Luger. They made him come off as an invader from WWF to WCW on that debut Nitro. '96, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash. They were the outsiders. They were portrayed as invaders. So I think you could kind of trace that. Even in '96, ECW guys came to Raw a couple of times.
97, the ECW guys came to Raw. 97. That episode was like March of 97.
It happened in '96 too. It happened in '96.
Yeah, that was on a pay-per-view. Yeah. Mind Games, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
The comments you're getting on your Facebook stream is hilarious.
Uh-oh.
The comments you're getting on your Facebook stream. I just took a big shit.
This podcast called Two Jobbers Podcast. Frank's like, you guys suck. Oh, Nader. Okay, I'm in a podcast called Two Jobbers Podcast. I'm gonna defend Nader here because Nader's actually a good guy. I know him personally. I'm best friends with him. Yeah. And Nader, the guy on the left, looks better than you on his worst day than you do on your best day. So I don't want to hear it. But actually, you know what, Nader? Hang on. You're sitting there talking shit, bruh. Shouldn't you be at work? I mean, you were just telling me that you lost a whole bunch of employees the other day. I mean, you should. Yeah. Come on now, man. You're talking that shit. What By the way, this ugly guy on the left there could still whoop your ass any day of the week, twice on.
Oh. We
And
starting an angle. We starting an angle here on the podcast. We're talking about an angle, and now we're starting an angle.
bro, Nate wouldn't know an angle if he was this way. All right, I'm just saying.
Now we're going to cover all the pay-per-views that took place during this angle, but I'm going to ask right now that for both of us, favorite pay-per-views. So that would be Invasion all the way to Survivor Series. Favorite pay-per-view of the angle.
Oh man. Uh Hang on a minute. Let me see how many pay-per-views were there. There was Invasion, there was Survivor.
Invasion, SummerSlam, Unforgiven, No Mercy, Survivor.
Okay, well, I think for me, it's a toss-up between two. It's a toss-up
Okay.
between. It's got to be just a toss-up between two. It's got to be a toss-up between Invasion and Survivor Series. Those are the top two. What you got there?
Okay. Here's mine. Right here.
SummerSlam 2000.
SummerSlam 01. Yep. So that show had Austin and Angle, phenomenal match. RVD and Jeff Hardy, the hardcore ladder match. Even the 6-man tag match was pretty decent. The Lance Storm and Edge kicked off the show. That was great. Yeah, this was a fun. This SummerSlam was a fun show.
I'm sorry.
This SummerSlam, yeah, that was a fun show, man.
Yeah, Survivor Series, Mag Live, 8 viewers.
I'm talking about SummerSlam.
We got 14 now. We got 14 viewers.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you to everybody that's watching us, man. I appreciate you guys.
I got about at least 2 more, at least Retro Bro review episodes that we can do this week. I'm trying to think of other shows I'm gonna pick. We'll see by the end of this what I'll pick. We got 17 viewers now. But remember last week when we went off air,
we had 92.
They had us at 90.
Nope, you don't get that many views. We're taking some down.
Hopefully this is not 23 bot views we got currently.
We are on 3 separate platforms. Yeah. We're on the Retro Bros YouTube podcast channel. We're on Facebook on my personal account. And we're on your YouTube channel.
Yep. We're currently at 27 views.
28 views. Wow, they keep going up.
And they're going up. Shout out to everybody who's joining. Leave some comments.
Right. Leave a comment.
Give us your thoughts on the Invasion angle.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the Invasion angle?
Yeah.
And what do you guys think of me kicking Nader's ass? No, I'm just kidding.
Another great segment. It was actually the last segment. Another great segment. It was
I'm sorry.
Can you stop clicking on the video? I hate listening to
myself. I'm trying to get the comments.
Mute your computer then, so I don't have to hear my voice coming through. Damn. But anyway, another great segment.
Hey, if I listen to your voice, so do you. Just kidding.
It took place. It was the last segment that WWE ever did in a pre 9/11 world. Kurt Angle and Stone Cold were at a bridge. Kurt Angle had Austin tied up and everything. He was threatening to throw Austin off the bridge because I think Austin the prior week threw Angle's medals off the bridge. So Angle was gonna throw Austin off the bridge. Yeah. And he had Austin, how you say it? He couldn't see.
Blind?
Yeah, blindfolded. Yeah, he had Austin blindfolded. So Austin has no idea what's going on. And so he thinks he's about to get thrown off the bridge. And then Angle pushes Austin. So Austin thinks he's falling off the bridge meanwhile in actuality he's actually falling into a kiddie pool. That was a great segment. And the Austin Angle feud was probably my favorite standalone feud, where it's just one guy versus one guy, not, of course, WWE versus the Alliance. My favorite standalone feud of the Invasion Angle is definitely Austin and Angle. They did a lot of great stuff.
they did. Let's talk about some standouts here in this invasion angle because there were some guys that stood
Austin,
out. Austin,
Austin, no doubt. Angle,
absolutely.
yep,
Kurt Angle, Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, Rob Van Dam, Booker
yes.
T. They were all four great. Uh,
RVD gained a lot of popularity during this
yeah,
angle,
yeah, definitely.
and
Uh,
he even main evented a pay per view with the biggest star at the time, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and as well as Kurt Angle.
Retro Bros, if you love WWE, give me a hell yeah.
From 2001, hell yeah,
Hell yeah.
yep.
Just say hell yeah, Frank. You don't got to be specific. Just say hell yeah.
I wouldn't say if he's talking about today, I would not give him a hell yeah. I'm sorry.
Frank, why can't you just be nice? Why can't you just be
I'd be positive if WWE gave me something to be positive about.
This coming from the dude that likes WCW Nitro 2000. Come on, bro. Anyway,
It's way better. Yeah, because WCW Nitro in 2000 is one of the greatest weekly shows ever.
better than Charmed. That was a weekly show.
I don't know what I would pick between those two. Both of those were great. I will say this.
Better than Sabrina. That was also a
What
weekly show.
happened?
2000. Better than Sabrina.
What?
Also a
Well, I'm
2000.
not talking about in 2000. I'm talking about of all time. I'm not just talking about in 2000.
So, okay. So you're saying that
Yeah.
WCW 2000 was the greatest weekly show of all time?
One of the greatest weekly shows of all time. There are definitely a couple WWE years I'd put up there. Like I said, 97 through
Yeah,
05.
blindfolded.
Bruh, mute your computer. What the hell?
Hey, relax, Frank. Hang on a second. I can do it this way.
Bruh, mute your computer. What the
There we
hell?
What
Hey, relax, Frank. Hang on a second. I can do it this way.
Bruh, mute your computer. What the hell?
Hey. Okay. Well, I'll just text it.
Vibe reactions
He
need
actually
to have
needs to have a video call with my dad. They'll get along.
a.
Yeah, he'll be like, "What is good, Mag Life's father? It is your boy right here." No, he's cool. I love Vibe reactions. Did they do the 24/7 hardcore title stuff? Did they do that? Did they do that thing with Crash
that
during this?
the stuff with Crash Holly was 2000.
Okay,
That was great though. Yeah.
yeah.
So the original pay-per-view, the Invasion pay-per-view, you really liked that show?
I really did. It was a good show all around. Yeah, everybody. I
I would-
liked that brawl for all at the end.
Yes.
Yeah, the Dudleys. Yeah, it was great. I loved
I
it.
would say it was a good show. I wouldn't say it was one of my like one of the best shows of the year, but I would definitely. It was good. It was good.
I don't recall the matches for SummerSlam 01. I don't remember them very
I got
well.
it right. I got every 01 show right here. So here's SummerSlam. Lance Storm versus Edge for the IC title. 6-man tag. Dudley Boys and Test versus APA and Spike. I wonder if Drew Silva made an appearance during that match. So they actually had Spike on the show. Look at that. Anyway, X-Pac and Tajiri for the WCW and WWE, well, WCW Cruiserweight and WWE Light Heavyweight title. Jeff Hardy RVD Hardcore Championship ladder match. First ever tag team steel cage match. Undertaker and Kane with Sarah versus DDP and Kenyon. That's another angle I want to talk about. That was from the Invasion angle.
Yeah, that was a good angle. That DDP is a stalker thing. Yeah.
Yes. Austin Angle for WWE title match of the night, in my opinion. And then Booker vs. Rock, which was a pretty good main event. Although not exactly the best match. A main event should have been Austin and Angle, but either way, I think they kind of wanted to send the fans home happy, have
Right.
Rock win.
It's
And
SummerSlam.
Angle and Austin ended in a DQ or something like that. DDP stalking Sarah. this storyline was so good. It was so
It was
good, man.
great.
I don't care if DDP didn't get a win on the Undertaker. Oh my gosh, they buried DDP. First off, if the Undertaker, what was the Undertaker's nickname around this time? Was it the American Pushover?
I don't remember. American Push.
American Pushover, right?
Probably, yeah.
No, I don't think it was. I think it was the American Badass.
Then why'd you say pushover? Because badass and
Because
pushover.
I'm making a point. I'm making a point. He's not the American Pushover. If some dude is stalking his wife, you think he's gonna take an ass whooping?
See, I was slow on the uptake right there, Frank. My bad, dude.
Yeah, yeah. You think he's gonna take an ass whooping if somebody's stalking his wife? He's gonna beat the ever living shit out of somebody who stalks his wife.
Hey.
That is exactly how that match at SummerSlam should have went. DDP get absolutely beat down. It doesn't kill his career, although they didn't do anything with DDP after that. Sadly, that's on the writers for the fact that they didn't do anything. But also DDP got hurt, so
Yeah.
that was kind of a yeah. But in terms of the angle, that's exactly what should have happened. He's not the American pushover. He's the American badass. The American pushover will have somebody stalking his wife and then get pinned 1, 2, 3 at the end. Not the American badass. The
Was that
American badass.
Cage match? The tag titles?
Yes, cage match for the tag titles.
Yeah, okay.
Kane and Undertaker actually let Canyon climb over and go out, if I remember correctly, simply so they can leave DDP in there with Undertaker and Kane. And Undertaker and Kane beat the ever living shit out of DDP.
It really did. It was
As that angle's supposed to go. Like I said, if Undertaker's the American pushover, then a guy's gonna stalk his wife and then pin him 1, 2, 3. Absolutely, no doubt. He's not the American pushover. He's the American badass.
okay.
And there you go.
He's not the American
It's
pushover.
similar to the Austin getting ran down angle. That No Mercy 2000 match. That's exactly how that match is supposed to go. Is he the Texas pushover or is he the Texas rattlesnake?
Rattlesnake. But
Exactly. And that guy, when you run him over, he's gonna hop into a car, even if it's gonna lead to him running over or crashing into a cop car, which he actually did in that match. And they actually sent him to jail right after the match. But yeah, he got in his truck and ran down Rikishi, and for the most part in that match, beat the ever living shit out of Rikishi. The Texas Rattlesnake isn't about to get pinned 1, 2, 3 by a guy who ran him over. That's what people don't understand. These guys think, oh, these up and comers need to beat the stars. No, just because they get the win over the star doesn't mean that they're ultimately going to become the star. Rikishi's not on Austin's level. No disrespect to him. I love that he got a heel run at the end of 2000. DDP's not on Undertaker's level. No disrespect to him. I love him too. He's great. But those two are not on those levels. They got their chance to get a nice little run with a main event talent in those, and it was great.
that's my Stone Cold picture right there next to the belt. I don't know why you could see it.
Yeah, it's tough to see. You need some zoom in features on your camera.
Let's see if I can.
Yeah, try it out.
Um,
We're up to 58 views, man. Everybody watching, leave some comments. Give us your thoughts on
yeah,
the
at one point
invasion.
we were down to 67, or we were up to 67 views, but yeah,
I guess my rant on the Undertaker DDP stalking Sarah's wife thing kind of left some of the viewers. They're like, "Oh, how can you defend that horrible angle? Oh my gosh, DDP got buried." No.
okay.
And
okay.
of
Right.
course, somebody stalking. Hold on. A man stalking another man's wife in real life, horrible. But that's what some people don't understand. Pro wrestling, real life, two different things. On a television show, a man stalking a man's wife makes for great drama, and that's what that angle was.
Frank, take a sip of water and relax.
I don't have water. I'm drinking Mountain Dew.
This stream's ass says young. prime. So why
Yo,
the hell you,
hey, that's Mamba in his prime, man. If Kobe says it's ass, then we need to think about what we doing.
hey, if this streak was ass, it's because this dude just went on a freaking rant. All right.
The rant was factual, absolutely factual.
Well, you know it's factual, Frank. I think it's time to call this show. What do you think?
You got more stuff so you want to say about the invasion angle?
Not really. I think I've said everything I wanted to say about it. It was a good. It was a great angle. It could have been better, but for what we got, it was really good.
It was. Look, I agree that if we would have had the WCW stars, it could have been one of the greatest angles of all time. But
Yeah.
as for the angle itself, it's still one of my favorite angles of all time. I absolutely loved it.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is Frank's and my thoughts on the invasion angle, and we'll review those pay per views on separate times. But next week or later
Go
this
ahead.
week,
Look, before, yeah, later this week.
let's do this later this week at some point. Frank and I are going to actually review a show, one of these shows. So this week, we're going to review Invasion, WWF
The
Invasion.
pay per view. Yeah, let's do it. That was a great
Since we're
show.
talking about the Invasion angle,
Yeah.
let's go. Let's
And
go.
then after that, I said we were doing like two more shows. Hopefully this week. How about after Invasion? We'll do SummerSlam '01.
Sounds good to
Your
me.
one of your favorites.
First, SummerSlam or Invasion?
We can do Invasion first since we're coming off the angle. We'll just review the show.
All right, and then to cap this all off, next week we'll do Survivor Series '01. So you'll get Invasion '01, SummerSlam '01, and then Survivor Series '01.
The
So
week of Invasion, I guess.
yeah,
I like it. I like it.
and also this upcoming Wednesday, Frank and I are doing a podcast with my buddy Shrug. I think it's going to be a Q&A podcast. So if you have any questions for Shrug or for us, leave them down in the comments below, or come through live and ask them there. Until next time, I'm WWE Fanboy. That is Player Bound or Playoff.
Playoff bound, baby. People acting like the season's over, by the way, because we got swept by Atlanta. We're going to the playoffs. Congrats to Atlanta. It looks like they're taking the division. Congrats to them. That doesn't mean that we're done. We're gonna be ready in the playoffs. Y'all ain't got to worry about that.
I'm CJ. He's Frank. We're done.